Hi, I'm here at Hida Tool with Co, who's one of the owners of Hida Tool here in Berkeley, California. And I'm here because I came up for the day, took a break from the farm, and I'm learning how to sharpen my Silky Teflon Floral Scissors. And you guys have seen these because I use them all the time for, not only for cutting my flowers, but I use them for when I'm taking apart my tubers too. So they work great for that because they're nice and sharp. And but I've been using these for years and I've never sharpened them before, and I've always wanted to learn how to sharpen them. So Co said, I'll teach you how to do that. So we're here today to learn how to do that. So
Yeah, sure.
So first you need to learn how to check if your scissors needs sharpening.
okay.
So this is one of yours. Let's move this aside. Open up, maybe about, see how it's about 45 degrees?
Mm-hmm.
Put your fingernail on like this
Uh-huh.
and push, slide it down.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Yep.
Okay, it's slippery. Some resistance, but mostly slippery.
Right.
Now, try it on this. It should be a lot more draggy.
A lot more draggy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when it's draggy, that means that the micro serration and the nice bevel is trying to bite into your nail. So there. If you can do that,
Yeah.
then that means it's sharp. But if you do put the same amount of pressure on the dull one, it slips
Yeah.
because it's not trying to bite in. It will probably still work, but then it's gonna give a bad cut to your plants. It's not slicing; it's more about squishing together.
Right,
So
right. We want a slicing. Yeah.
exactly. That's what you want to do. So for sharpening, we use our Atoma Twin Diamond sharpener. Now, if you have a table like this, I like to hold it this way, or if you're out in a field, I like to push towards me to make it stable. Okay? There you go. Now, Twin Diamond comes with coarse side and fine side. This one, I think it's mine, that's 10 years old. But it's still coarse, but when you buy a new one, it's very obvious. You can tell right away which side is coarse and fine. So this from here to the tip is called the main bevel. And if you look close, the tip is a little bit shinier, right?
Yeah.
So that is what we call a micro bevel. And that's where we will be sharpening.
Okay.
Okay? So we use the coarse side first. Do this about this angle.
Okay.
So this is way too high. It's just gonna make it dull. This is way too low. You're just gonna scratch up the nice coating. You don't wanna do that. So maybe about 45 degrees. But key point number one is the actual number doesn't matter. What matters much more is the consistency of this angle.
Right.
So what I mean is that if you keep changing your angle, it will never get sharp.
Right.
So keep the consistent angle. So this is the motion.
Okay.
So I'm doing it without pressure right now. So the key point is never to roll like this. Keep the same angle.
Okay.
And key point two is use the entire file from tip to tip. Try to do that and to get use the whole file in one stroke.
Right.
So never do this or just that. Try to use the entire file like
Okay.
this. Okay, so now I'm gonna start sharpening with this pressure now. So this one was pretty dull, so it will take about 20 to 30 strokes. Usually, if you're only maintaining, 10 is enough. Now, how you can tell that if you did enough is by flipping it over. So this is the back side. Put your tip of the finger in the
Yeah.
middle, and then go to the tip.
Yeah.
So this part is very obvious. If you
Yeah.
want to check that real quick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can feel
Yeah.
a little bit of metal sticking up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That we call the burr, B-U-R-R.
Burr.
So burr is if you get a burr, that's a proof that that section is done. Because we are making this rounded edge straight again. And once you get it straight, any over sharpening will move the steel to the other side. So the burr is is what you need to get.
Indication that you're done.
So
Yeah.
this part is very obvious. The burr is that. So there, so we can, it's done. But then this part, I don't feel enough.
Yeah.
So what we do is you can do this. Just concentrate just this section a little bit more like this. Do that until a little bit more. Okay, now there's a burr.
Okay.
So but if you ever do just one section, you must always smooth the whole thing out.
Okay.
Because this is a slicing tool, not a chopping tool. We want the whole thing to have a nice, clean cut. So now we have the burr all over. Then we use our fine side. And this is key point 3. The back side or the flat side always stays flat. So
Okay.
we hold the file this way and lightly, once again towards the end, trying to use the whole file. So what we're doing now is we're cleaning that burr off. Now you might worry that, hey, isn't that gonna scratch the back side?
Yeah.
But if you look very close, see how this part is not being scratched? This is actually concave, like this.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Why they do that is reason number 1, so it doesn't scratch when we sharpen. Reason number 2 is less contact surface when you cut something.
Yeah.
So that's
That
why
makes
this
sense.
scissor
Oh, yeah.
cuts really, really nicely. So let's keep going. And test it with our hand. Teeny bit still left there. The better the steel, the harder to get the burr off.
Okay.
Yes,
that's
because the
good.
steel is harder and tougher and stickier. Okay, there you go. Good. So see that? Now it's smoothed out. Okay, after we check.
Yeah.
Okay,
good.
so this is sharp enough, but we want to make it even sharper. So back to the front side. Now it's the fine. So we use the coarse first, but then now we're going to use the fine. We're going to
Okay.
repeat step 1 again. So, okay, so make it stable. So spend about half of the time you did with the coarse side. Okay? Now flip it over. You might feel a burr, you might not, because now we're moving less steel at a time. The
Right.
burr is much, much finer and tinier, but it is there. So we still need to do step 2 again. Fine. Clean the burr off. Perfect. And now, how it feels. You should feel that it's much, much more draggier.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Much more.
So now we just have to do the same thing on this side. Okay. So now after you do both sides, open and close, if you feel like it's catching somewhere, that's where the burr is still there. So,
So
okay.
go back and do a
Exactly.
little more cleaning.
Exactly. Let's clean the burr off a little bit more. And it doesn't catch anymore. Okay.